Hello, monkeys, apes, and other primates. Today is our first episode of the hashtag Molly Gone era. Molly has gone to her semester abroad in Spain. So we have our first guest co-host this week. The audio issues this week are probably noticeable to only me, but if you hear my audio track falling out of sync with Mom and Annamaria throughout the episode, trust, I noticed it and I was annoyed by it, and you're not the only one. And if you didn't notice, congratulations, you're way less pedantic than me. As always, The Monkees may be a children's show from the 60s, but The Monkees Pod is not a children's show from 2025. We say fuck at least 3 times in this episode, so it is not exactly child-friendly unless your child is cool as fuck. Enjoy the episode. Hi, welcome back to the Monkees Pod, a Monkees recap podcast. I'm Sommer.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Annamaria.
What? Where's Molly? Molly is in Spain, so we had to replace her.
Olé.
We're having guest stars till Molly gets back. So this month we have Annamaria.
Hello.
So Annamaria,
yeah.
Tell us how you came to the Monkees.
Oh, great question.
Yeah.
So, I remember that fateful day in 2021, I think. I was maybe 17.
That depresses me. That sentence depresses me.
Yeah. But I was just scrolling on TikTok as anyone would do, and I came across the clip. It was the bloopers of the Texas Prairie Chicken scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. This looks fun. So I just saved the TikTok, and then a few months later, I was like, I'll watch the show. Mm-hmm. And here we are. I went into a deep obsession for a little while, and I've been out of it for a little bit, but then Sommer just pulled me back in. So here we are.
No,
yeah.
It was very okay. So we're coworkers at I'm not going to dox us, but a small movie theater in New York City. Annamaria started working there a couple months ago. Weeks. I don't know how long you've been here. Anyway, but I was talking to you on the first day you were here, and I was like, I think I mentioned the podcast or something.
Yeah.
And you were like, wait, I love the Monkees. And I was like, in the wild, what are the chances?
No, actually, you were like, so I'm just into this thing. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called The Monkees. And I paused. I was like,
hold up.
You have no freaking idea. But yeah.
And who is your favorite monkey?
My favorite is Peter Tork.
Yes. So surely you will enjoy the episode that you will see in a couple of weeks that we are recording today.
Yes.
About Peter Tork.
Oh yes.
But that is not what we are doing this very minute. This very minute we are doing season 1, episode 11, Monkees A La Carte.
Wait, can I get a refresher? What are your favorites?
Oh, I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, she's undeclared, undecided.
I'm leaning toward Micky.
Yeah, she's
that's
growing in Mickiness. And I'm a Mike woman of all time,
yes.
of all heart, of all brain and brain power. But excellent. Yes. Season 1, episode 11, Monkees A La Carte. The historical background that I've chosen for this week is spooky mid-century food.
Okay.
Every time that they show any food item on the Monkees, I get viscerally uncomfortable because of how gross it looks.
I really didn't notice that.
I have some weird sensory issues around food. In the first, I don't like to eat food from other people's houses, that they that someone else's mom made. I like restaurant food, and I like your food.
Your own mom.
Yeah. I don't know why. I'm but in particular, in the 50s and 60s. The culture of maybe this was a post-war scarcity thing, but the wild ass recipes that people were making, the Jello molded in the shape of a lobster that is also full of lobster.
That's a 70s.
Well, it is
60s, 70s.
60s, 70s.
Yes.
An interesting aspect of this is that in a lot of the teen magazines of the time that I spend my time reading, they assume that the teen girl reader is going to grow up to be a housewife and will need to learn how to cook and stuff. So in the magazine Monkey Spectacular, which was a Monkees fan magazine, from like for a good like year, they had a recurring article of monkey recipes, which were real recipes that the monkeys really told her that they make at home. No, the fuck they did not. First of all, and I have a lot of great examples of this. So we have Peter's tuna dogs. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that while you're showing me your tuna dogs.
Will we put that on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Mix together 1 can of white albacore, solid packed tuna, 1 cup of chopped celery, half a cup of cheddar cheese diced, 1 small onion if desired, enough mayonnaise to make mixture smooth. Add salt and peppers to taste. On open hot dog rolls, spread the mixture.
It's just tuna fish on a hot dog.
Literally.
That sounds gross as hell to me.
I don't know.
With the cheese. I mean, otherwise that's just tuna.
True.
I don't know why they gave all like the gross recipes to Peter. Maybe it's like a callback to how his TV character made that terrible soup.
Yes.
Now we have Peter's lighthouse salad.
Okay.
Good name.
Place crisp leaves of lettuce on salad place. In this case, of course, Peter made 4 salads. No, he didn't. And then on each lettuce leaf, place a pineapple ring. In the center of each pineapple ring, stand on one hand, have a banana. Okay, the theme of the salad is getting confusing. Then on top of the banana, place a red or green maraschino cherry.
It's a lighthouse.
Okay,
Making
it has
look
it
like-
has fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, well.
For this special occasion, Peter added around the base of each banana about 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise, to which he added a bit of the pineapple juice. It just made the salad a little yummier.
Okay, gross.
Yeah, I don't.
You could go with cottage cheese, but mayonnaise.
Mickey's holiday bread cornucopias used for party appetizers. ... or 20 slices of regular sliced bread, half a cup / half a cube of butter melted, and the only other ingredient listed is deviled ham filling.
What is that?
It's canned meat.
Oh.
It's like canned meat. It's
Delicious.
like spam. Yeah, it's
okay.
similar to spam.
Okay, well, I love spam, so can't judge it.
Yeah. And then we have Peter's special sandwich mixture, which is equal parts mashed avocado and cottage cheese.
Oh my god.
The other thing about these like recipes from the magazine is that like every article of the recipes leads in with like this little like fan fiction that like the girl from the magazine wrote about her.
Yes, I've read these like things like these before, and she's like, "Oh, they let me inside."
Yeah, no. Okay. Well, here this first one. It was like midway through the year that they were doing these, and some fan. She says, "Can the monkeys really cook? Are those recipes a big fake? When do the monkeys even get time to cook?" These are a few of the questions that have been flooding the editor's desk in the past few months. Yeah, I bet. So here are the answers as told by Micky. We can all cook and the recipes are not fakes. Sometimes I don't need a recipe when I'm making something, especially one of my special malts or a hot seasoned chili. I know it by heart, but when there's time to cook, we can all do it. Like he's like,
yeah,
I don't know, yeah.
I like your Mickey impression.
Thank you. Just
more energetic.
And then there's another fan fiction where she pretends that if she says, "We're gonna let you try out our hamburger recipes, and then you have to guess what's in them. If you don't, we'll let you babysit with Frack," sang Mike gleefully. Frack is Mike's attack dog. Frack was Mike's giant attack German Shepherd.
Damn.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I know all of Mike's dogs by name.
Oh, okay.
Frack.
But like, where did you find
Spot.
this? Like,
so these are all from the Cool Cherry Cream magazine archive.
Right.
Sunshine Factory, I should say. Cool Cherry Cream is the website. Sunshine Factory is the Monkees subset of it, but all the URLs are Cool Cherry Cream.
Is this free? Like,
yeah, it's an amazing resource. The person who like cultivated it, I was like, this is the level of archive work. Like, that's that's why I want to get into archive work.
I can see that for you. You're already on the path for that. Yeah.
Like I just think, and it's an easily searchable database, and they tag like everything. And my favorite tag is that you can look at all the pictures of the monkeys' butts. There is a tag for that.
Oh, like clothed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually.
I was like, how did they get
Usually.
Is this legal? Like what?
Peter was doing some hippie shit.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Oh. Okay.
Would you like to see it?
I'll
send it to you. I'll send.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I don't want that in my.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into the episode now, I think. All right. So the director for this one, regular guy, James Frawley. Series director's name, James Frawley.
Okay.
So we're used to him. The writers are Gerald and Dee, my mortal enemies, and Bernie Orenstein. Rein 'em in, Bernie. Bernie was unable to stop Gerald and Dee's racist tendencies this time a little bit, unfortunately. Yeah. So,
got you.
Yeah, and we have our list of guest stars for when we get to them. This one originally aired November 21st of 1966.
Okay.
So the first shot of this episode is the Monkees sharing a Scooby-Doo ass sandwich that Shaggy would deeply enjoy.
Yeah, like a 6-foot sub, and they're all
all eating it. I can't exactly explain why, but that shot feels like fetish content. It gives. Do you know the SNL sketch that Peter Dinklage was in?
No.
Where so they're like this New York City couple taking their friends out to dinner, and they're like, oh, this restaurant used to be one of the famous underground sex parlors of New York.
Yes,
and
I've
then
seen that one.
They only serve phallic foods through a glory hole. And they like shove this big baguette out, and they have to like eat it from the sides. And also it gives this gif from K-pop Demon Hunters. And as we all know, K-pop Demon Hunters is the modern Monkees. So I'm just saying that long food near those boys' mouths. And then it cuts to an old Italian man observing them, and he says, "Peter getting no salami."
Wow. Your mind
Look,
just went
my mind is very
crazy
dirty.
with
My
this.
mind is very dirty, but also I don't know. I'm just noting it feels a little sus to me. It feels a little sussy.
Okay. I maybe not for this one, but I have noticed things like that in this.
Well, in the show, yeah. In the show in general,
especially with Peter, I've noticed this.
Right.
Yeah.
They tie him up every day.
Yeah. And it's almost like, did they know about this, or like?
I think they had to a little. I think they were doing it on purpose to like subtly psychologically manipulate people.
Yeah, it's giving like kind of gross, like.
Yeah, it's giving gross and exploitative, which a lot of the way they were treated was. So
right.
Yeah. Anyway, this old Italian man is known as Pop. Right. The Monkees are always helping out some old man named Pop. I've noticed. Yeah. And apparently the set that was used as Pop's restaurant was the Ritz Swank Hotel ballroom from Royal Flush, the seance room from Monkey See, Monkey Die, and the discotheque from The Spy Who Came in from the Ghoul.
Okay.
They were not. They had two rooms.
I noticed something not in this episode where they literally just moved some furniture over in the corner, and it was like they you see them on. I'll mention it another time, but. I took a note where they literally like just stuck them in the corner of a room
of an existing room.
I'm like, okay.
They were working on a budget.
I know where you are. We'll talk about the budget later because I had to look into it after you asked me about it. So then, because it's an Italian restaurant, some mobsters walk in. And I wrote, "Mom, oh my God, this episode is racist to us."
Oh my God, you guys are Italian?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't tell from my skin tone, but probably you can tell from Mom's.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Mom is not. We've established this. You're not any type of not white. You're just very Italian.
Half Italian and half Polish.
Yeah.
Nice.
And here's my historical question about this, because I've noticed this coming up a lot in like recent political discussions. The social construct of race is best demonstrated by the fact that like in the early 20th century, certain types of people that we now consider white were not considered white.
Right.
Do you kind of remember that switchover happening? Because you told me that people used to call you Polak on the playground.
Oh, absolutely. Like Polak when I was a child, we were Polacks, but it wasn't even offensive. I didn't think it was. It was always dumb Polak, and it was a joke.
From the commonly known stereotype that Polish people
are stupid.
That's
so we were dumb. You're dumb Polak.
That's really like because that's just but truly is not even a stereotype
But it wasn't
anymore.
it wasn't even like, oh my God, we're so offended. It was like, oh, okay, we're the dumb Polacks.
You just accepted the
mild
discrimination.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
and then you noticed that switch over time.
Well, at a certain point, it was no longer acceptable to do that.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, it was like I didn't.
Right.
really mean anything.
Right.
Like kids are cruel. Like
Yeah.
they do.
Oh,
Well, okay,
I
if
love that. Yeah.
Polish people were dumb and that was the stereotype, what was the stereotype of Italians?
Italians are greasy,
Oh,
and they're mobsters.
mm-hmm.
They're
So like everything we see in this episode.
yes, yeah. That's they were mobsters,
Mhm.
and
Right.
Gabagool.
yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, there's still like stereotyping of different types of white people like that.
And
but-
the Irish were
Right,
were
yeah.
drunks,
And there's a racist Irish caricature in
Yeah.
this episode too.
Yeah.
The Monkees, we haven't gotten to any of the true racist episodes yet. We have one coming up next month, but I just like there's like a pervasive sense of like the way that we treat racism as a joke
Right.
is like more it's more okay to do that, you know.
well, that was kind of the, like I said, it was, you didn't think anything of the fact that people were stereotyped, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that was, and so it was on TV because it was in the real world that, you
Mhm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
I will say one thing for the Monkees. This is possibly because the civil rights movement was so like big at the time and so like connected to the countercultural kind of scene that these guys were in. And by these guys, I also mean the writers and producers, because the Monkees were not super in control of what was ending up in the scripts. But the racism against Black people is a lot like less overt than the kind of the stuff they dish out for everyone else.
Right.
And I think that might be like a sensitivity thing to them being like, oh my God, look at what's happening in the country. Look at this particular movement that we're
Right.
responding to right now.
Right. Well, you also don't see that many Black people.
There and the one episode where there is a Black main character, he's playing like his man Friday from Treasure Island or whatever.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it's like
that's
not
more,
like
that's more of what it was. You know?
Yeah.
And then in the 60s and the 70s, that's when they started having shows that focused on Black characters.
Yeah.
And
but it was
and
kind of almost a separate market, like because those
yes,
shows were
it-
marketed
yeah,
to
yes.
Black people.
Right.
yeah, but they became people in their own right, not just side characters.
Right.
And they were giving
Previously, when they were only cast as like
Yeah.
maids and stuff.
maids and stuff, and giving, you know, the white people's perspective on Black people's lives. And then they became, you know, they were showing shows about Black people and their experiences. So like the Jeffersons, what's happening, you know,
Yeah.
all that. You were watching what they were really experiencing as opposed to what we thought they were experiencing.
Back to the episode. So the mobsters want to buy Pop's
Well,
restaurant.
they want to steal the restaurant.
They want to obtain. They want to obtain this old man's restaurant, and then they threaten to desecrate his mother's corpse. And then there's a laugh track. My question: why are the Monkees friends with like all these like old men who are about to lose their jobs
Well,
that they have? Like they have no friends their own age except each other and like Davy's girlfriend of the week.
Yeah. Well, they worked there. They were the house
Yeah,
band.
they were. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They were the house band.
So they want to keep their job.
Yes.
Right, but I know what you mean. There's always like a sad old man.
There's a
around.
sad old man, yeah. I also wrote that technically they have another friend their age because Frank Zappa is in season 2 for one episode.
True.
As usual, there is a tall bad guy and a short bad guy who I could have called the Hat Man and the Fat Man again.
That
But
would be
I
too
think
confusing.
I know. I gave them some different names.
One's Mr. Fuselli,
Well, yeah. Oh, here's what I ended up.
which is a type of pasta.
Yes, I know. And I did hear their names, but what I ended up calling them was after the movie Twins.
Okay.
So I called them the Arnold Schwarzenegger one and the Danny DeVito one.
Mm.
The Danny DeVito
real.
one is gonna be our big bad. His like henchman doesn't really do a ton in this episode. So, yeah, Mr. Fusilli,
who was named for pasta.
yeah. So Davy threatens him, and he gets a gun pulled on him. But he's like so chill about it. He's like, "Hey, you're pretty tough with a gun in your hand."
Well,
He,
this
like,
has happened before. Like,
yeah, they do get
yeah.
guns pointed at them fairly often.
Right.
And then he knocks the gun out of his hand, but he just punches them, and they all get knocked back.
It was like bowling ball.
All four of them,
Skinny,
skinny little boys knocking
Their
each
little
other.
fast motion moment.
Yeah. And then we have the theme song. Before that, I did want to note that Davy looked very pretty. and that Mike is wearing his like salmon colored button up, which is his
Yes.
ultimate season 1 iconic look.
I also noticed that they're all wearing velvet except for
Ew.
Mike. Yeah.
Ew.
And Peter has this like deep V
Mhm.
like turtleneck underneath sweater. It's very
Yeah.
funky. Yeah.
Groovy looking boys
Groovy.
today. So back in the pad, Mike uses his giant yellow gavel to declare that they should all try to get the restaurant back for Pop. The Monkees are so willing to risk their life for people who are only on a single episode of the show.
Never see again.
Yeah.
You're right.
I thought maybe they have an awareness that like death can't really touch them because they're constantly like putting themselves in harm's way in front of criminals. And in the scene, Davy has a giant band-aid on his face from where he got punched. He was so dramatic. He did not need that band-aid. And they keep referring to the mobsters as hoods.
Yeah.
And I was
I was
not familiar with that term used in that
Hoodlum?
way. Hoodlum. Yes, I've heard that.
Okay. But
Yeah,
sure,
well, that's
yeah.
a hood. Yeah.
No, mostly it's now like how like Republicans used to refer to like police brutality victims.
Okay.
Um,
Well, they're hoods. No, but that's gangsters. They're hoods,
okay.
and it's short for hoodlum.
Oh, you learn something every day.
Yeah. Davy has to convince Micky that Fusilli is some kind of a mean, rough, vicious type of person. He had a weird line read. And he has to convince him of this by saying that his pinstripe suit has real pins in it, instead of reminding him of the gun that got pulled on them 5 minutes ago.
True.
The suit, not the gun.
Yeah,
Leave the cannoli.
yeah. Mike is like, can I have some suggestions from the floor? And then Peter listens to the floor.
I love that bit.
Because
Yes.
he is stupid.
But then he got nothing out of the floor, so he
Yeah, so
listened
he
to
listened
the wall.
to the wall and the ceiling.
And the wall
Um,
said, check the ceiling.
yeah. So then Mike subverts the democratic process and just votes for everyone to help Pop save the restaurant, which it seemed like they were going to do anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
But-
know what
but
the
they're-
whole point of that
yeah.
bit was.
Mike is kind of a corrupt leader of the Monkees, and this is not the only time on the show that they're having like to decide something and he just decides for everyone,
True.
which almost makes me think that he did that in real life because I feel like he would. The Monkees come into the restaurant office that the gangsters have set up shop in, asking for their jobs back. And the mobsters get scared because they think they have a gun in their guitar case, but there is only a guitar.
He said,
So the mobster says, I don't like you. And then they're like, we work cheap. I'm beginning to like you. Doesn't the mob have a lot of money?
yeah.
Isn't that like their thing?
Well, they have a lot of money because they're not paying.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
That's
because
how
they
make
make
their
money
money.
by, I see. By
They're
doing
not very
crimes.
fair. I
I
don't
see.
know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, in order to as like a little test to see if they're good enough to get their jobs back, they like Salem witch trials style
Stone him.
they pressing like Giles Corey.
Yeah.
Do you know Giles Corey of
No.
the Salem witch trials? Giles Corey, the only man who was not hanged at Salem, he was pressed to death with a bunch of rocks on a board, and
Oh,
every
okay.
time they put a rock, they were like, "Are you a witch?" And all he said was, "More weight." Kind of a badass type of
Damn.
man.
And they did that with
And they
Peter
did that
here.
to Peter with dishes.
Yes.
Okay.
And he takes the dishes into the kitchen. They're like, "Oh my god, you did it, Peter! 3 cheers!" And then he goes to cheer too. And I'm assuming what is supposed to happen is the dishes like cartoon hang in the air and then drop, but you can fully see the wires.
Yes,
yes.
you can absolutely see the wires.
Maybe this is the HD remaster that we're watching, or maybe you could just
No,
see it in
I'm
the
sure
show.
they could see the
Yeah, we
wires.
talked about budget earlier. Like,
Yeah.
we don't,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. No. Here's what I did my research on the budget because we were talking about this.
Yeah.
The other day, and you were like, they had to have like a really small budget because
Per
look how many
episode. Yeah.
look how many corners they're cutting constantly. So I looked it up. The only figure I could find for Monkey budget per episode was that for the pilot cost, me versus reading big numbers, $225,000,
Mhm.
which would be about $2.3 million today. And it said that this was the cost
Times
of
10?
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It said that this was the cost of setting up like the Raybird offices, casting the show, and getting the pilot
the whole
entirely
thing.
produced.
Right.
So this wouldn't be like a typical episode cost necessarily,
Right. At all.
but in my research, I found that 2.3 million is pretty standard for like a
What?
normal sitcom today.
Right. Right.
So it wasn't like they were like micro budgeting over here.
Mm.
They just cut every corner for no reason.
Well, I'm wondering if that, I mean, that's, you said that's for the pilot. So that was to establish everything. After that, it really doesn't seem what they're doing.
Right. And they got
To
so
be what they're
big, like
doing.
they weren't going to lose anyone.
The Danny DeVito one has the same accent as Nick the bartender from It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
Have you seen It's a Wonderful Life?
No,
recently?
but
okay,
I can imagine it.
No, he goes. What does he say? He says, "We soive hard drinks here for men that want to get drunk, and we don't need any characters around the place or something."
Yeah, when you're a character.
Yeah.
And he also says, "Check me out. I'm handing out wings."
Yeah. It just always amused me how that guy pronounced the word serve. And they do end up saying the word serve later in this episode. So the Danny DeVito one, to show the Monkees how the mob treats people they don't like, he slaps Peter across the face. And then Micky's like, "Oh yeah, well, I'll show you how we treat people we don't like." And then he slaps Peter across the face.
I got, in my notes before that, Fuseli is walking in, or the Danny DeVito guy, pushes past Mike, and Mike rolls his eyes like so hard that I was like, that wasn't even part of the script.
No.
Like, he was literally rolling his eyes at this guy like, what the hell are you doing? Pushing me out of the way.
Yeah.
Certainly
like, he was.
I went back and I was like, wow, Mike.
Yeah. Shady.
But again, they're so mean to Peter. Peter's like, "What did I do?" And then Mike's like, "I don't know, but don't do it again." Stop, guys.
That's one of my favorite bits. Like, that's a really memorable one because I feel like that's going to come up in my life and I'm going to get to do that to someone, you know. I'm just gonna,
just slap. Yeah.
This is how we treat people we don't like. Yeah.
So then, the mobsters say, "You may have your jobs back here, but you're gonna be chefs, dishwashers, musicians, hat check girls, cooks, cigarette girls." Let's break that down step by step. Chefs. I understand that this is something of a money laundering operation. I do not want to eat the food that the Monkees prepared.
Especially after reading what you read before.
Right. If they're making the lighthouse salad, I don't want
the special sandwich.
If they're making Peter's special spread, I don't want it. Dishwashers? Yeah, that one's fine.
Yeah.
Peter was a dishwasher when he was cast on the Monkees. So that's fine. Musicians, yeah, they got that one. Hat check girls. Now, a lot of people have called the Monkees women, including me at times. Was hat check a job that only women could do?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's who they would put there, were the girls.
Okay. What is the reason behind that?
I would guess you get better tips.
Okay. Perhaps.
Or what guy is going to want to sit there and check other people's hats?
What girl is going to want to sit there and check other people's hats?
There's nothing.
Well, women can't
there
get
are very
jobs.
few jobs you could have.
Oh, God, I guess. Yeah. Okay, the next thing he's on the list is cooks. How's that different from chefs?
There is.
And then cigarette girls, which the concept of cigarette girls.
Cigars, cigarettes.
You're saying that like I know, like
that's what the cigarette girls would do. They walk around with. Do you know what a cigarette girl is?
I've seen.
They walk around with a bottle.
My only point of reference for cigarette girls is like a one-off joke in like a Tex Avery cartoon I saw once.
I think the cigarettes. I think that's Bugs Bunny is what I'm doing.
Right.
And he, like, Bugs Bunny is doing a cigarette girl at one point, and that's him doing cigarettes, and then he says something else, and it's not coming to me what it is. But they just walked around with a tray of cigarettes.
At what place would they be?
Restaurants, clubs, and stuff, and they would sell the cigarettes.
Okay.
And they'd like wear like cute outfits and like fishnets.
I want to see the Monkees doing that. On their first day on the job, we get stepping stoned.
Right. Which now we're being stepping stone instead of Clarksville. But I think stepping stone is like taking over Clarksville.
Yeah. But we also get Papa Jeaned a lot.
But we get stepping stone and we see them cooking
in Ratatouille outfits.
And I made a note that Davy looks like the Keebler elf in his little chef uniform with his hat.
I noticed Mike got to wear a chef hat and he didn't
have to wear his normal hat.
Green hat. There was a large yellow Pyrex bowl that my mother used to have.
The same one.
Wow.
Cool.
Um,
There was only one bowl in the 60s.
there was, if you could get one of the, if you still have one of them, because people still do have them, the large Pyrex bowls, they
Mhm.
lasted forever. But now they're like, they're really expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go on
if you
eBay.
could
Let's
get one.
find one.
And they're like sped up this whole scene, and Peter does his little Peter jumps sped up. It's the cutest thing ever. He looks like he's just going yippee, yippee,
Right.
yippee.
Okay, I have been thinking that we totally have the resources to make like a Monkees little like musical scene at work.
Oh,
like we totally have the
should.
people,
We should.
the cameras.
Yeah.
We should do that.
I want to be Mike.
Yeah, you have the hat.
Yeah, I have the hat, and I
Yeah.
can make the sideburns. I wanna be Mike.
Yes. Really.
So Mike makes mop spaghetti,
Yes,
which
mops,
we've seen before.
They do have mop spaghetti. It's back. They also like slow dance with some sides of beef.
Yeah, which I thought was, they were playing them like guitars.
Yeah.
I don't think they were.
Well,
They slow dance at some point.
Oh, were they slow
yeah.
dancing too? Okay,
They caress the beef.
I thought they were playing them. Maybe they were slow
They do
dancing
both.
with them.
I think.
Mike grinds his hand in a meat grinder.
Oh,
He
yeah,
does-
I
yes,
noticed
yes,
He was
that.
doing that. And Micky worked really hard on some cheese and tomato sandwiches.
He
Why
was,
he
he was
actually
preparing them
doing
for
it.
the homeless. Okay.
he was really like making a job out of making the sandwiches.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have a lot of time to eat on set,
No.
so maybe they were gonna have those later.
Peter walked around with a pot of boiling water with nothing on his hand, so he's just walking around with a boiling hot pot of water.
He's heat resistant.
Yeah.
Also, they have watermelons. Who cooks a
Who
watermelon?
cooks the
Who
watermelon?
cooks a watermelon? We're not going
I
to
don't know.
explain that. We're not going to
No
explain
one's
that.
ever going to know what that means.
Yeah, because
Except
that's
Duncan.
actually our secret. That's actually our secret code.
Except Duncan. But this was also the video we just
When we were just talking about Micky's concert.
we just saw Micky in concert last week, and
Yeah, we
he
did.
sang. He sang.
Wow.
He started with "Stepping Stone," and this is what he was projecting.
Yeah, was this
Oh
this,
my
this-
god, that's so cool.
yeah.
Wait, I want to hear more about that.
Well,
we
catch our episode.
recorded
Yeah,
a mini episode
okay.
about it.
Oh, yeah,
so
we'll
you'll get
chat
to.
later.
Yeah. The juxtaposition of this rock song about a clout digging groupie she really wants to sleep with this rock star for social advancement, and the image of Peter shooting his pizza dough down from the ceiling was with what I assume was an actual gun firing blanks. I like when the song has nothing to do with the music video.
nothing, and they
Almost
were
never
just,
does.
no.
Yeah.
They spent quite a bit of time making this video though, because they did a lot of things in this
Yeah,
video.
they must have had one day where they're we're just going to do every chef activity we can think of. The script for this episode seems more unfinished than usual. There are a couple moments throughout where you go, wait, are we missing something here? And a very clear one happens right here as the song starts to fade out. It starts fading up on an image of a police department. But I guess they decided, oh wait, we didn't explain why they're going to the police department, because they dub in Micky in voiceover going, hey fellas, this is not going to work. We better get some help.
I noticed that.
Yeah. They must have watched it back and gone, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Micky, come in here.
Right. But honestly, it would have been just as fine without that.
No,
dub.
right. I would have got it there.
Right.
I figured it out.
Yeah. So yeah, you would have figured it out when it comes up on the shot of them in the police department with their chef outfit still on. The actor that plays the cop, what is his name?
Oh, he's an
Dort Clark.
Dort Clark.
Dort.
I do not know him.
Well, he plays some sort of police inspector in a later episode of the Monkees. Okay. So he was kind of their stock scary cop, I think.
I think he's in
Bad
a lot
cop.
of other shows too. I've seen him in.
I had Good Cop, Bad Cop. No, that's a different episode. Never mind.
Well, he is kind of not a great cop.
I got Peter talking to the camera. They decide to go undercover.
So they're explaining the mobsters syndicate set up to them, and they're like, okay, there's this syndicate of mobsters, and there's a group within them called the Purple Flower Gang that we took out. And they're like, how'd you take them all out? And he's like, well, we went from flower to flower to flower. So that, I assume that's that joke didn't really land for me. It didn't fully coalesce for me, and I didn't really get what they were going for. But then Peter, in a really genuine voice, goes,
That's beautiful.
No, that got me.
Like his
I was
child,
like-
his
I was like, he meant that.
No,
Like-
he did. His flower child ass. Peter is genuinely like the type of like hippie that would like hug a tree, and he was always like painting like little flowers on his face in season 2. So I do believe that he genuinely just thought that was really beautiful.
It like took you out of the show for a second. You're like, wait.
The police once again employ the Monkees for civilians who may or may not be minors to do undercover work with known dangerous criminals.
Right. It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're back at the restaurant. They try to get the Danny DeVito one's fingerprints by having him test some wine. It was certainly bright red, but he wears a glove to drink it like a vampire. So, and then Micky tries to get some audio evidence, but he accidentally records over what he actually did. Right. Which once again, the Monkees having trouble with audio recording. I kind of feel
it's relevant,
feel ship a little bit. And then we have another moment of the script being unfinished.
Yeah, this one.
To be fair, they did really need to make the clarification. So what happens is that they try to break into the gangster safe in their office with dynamite and cat burglar masks, but they accidentally explode their desk instead. Okay, whatever. And then it cuts to like some sped up footage of them dragging the furniture around to try and like cover it up. And
they make the safe into a desk.
But they have another voiceover line where, like, hastily added, Micky goes, "Hey, we'll have to make this safe into a desk." Because they must have watched the clip back and gone, okay, it makes no fucking sense what they're doing in this scene.
And then he says, they'll never know the difference, right?
Right.
But here's the thing. Why? Why did they do this?
Why did they have to make the safe into a desk?
Why did they have to make the safe into a desk? I don't get it.
I don't
understand.
I don't either. The racist worms that ate Gerald and Dee's brain made them forget.
I was like, why?
I don't know. Anyway, the gangsters are having the syndicate over for dinner.
Right.
And the Danny DeVito one says, "I want great food and service." And the Monkees are like, haha, we cannot provide that. And they're like, ha, guys, they're going to kill you.
Well, then he takes his fork. He's eating. He takes his fork. He sticks it in the big guy, Rocco. And then he sticks it in Mike. Like he stabs them with the fork. And then he like continues to eat. I'm like, that is not sanitary.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, they should have thought about that. Like.
Yeah. We get a guitar shaped transition, which we haven't had in a second. And we're at the dinner party. So the gangsters, they keep saying Soivace, which I enjoy.
But they've never met each other.
Here's what he says. He says, "For reasons of self-protection, none of us has ever met before. So now let us list our full names and crimes in front of the Monkees." This tone he said it in made me go, oh, he's being sarcastic. He's like, we've never met before, right, folks? No, they've never met before.
That's the only way the premise of them coming in as the gangsters,
right?
Which is similar to another.
Yeah, no, that happened in in the one with the big man, with the Monkees in a Ghost Town. Nobody in this universe has ever met like the head of the criminal organizations that they work for. Okay.
But can we talk about Flora for a second?
Let's talk about all the gangsters.
Yeah.
So, first one, Irish stereotype. His name is
O'Leary.
Red O'Leary.
O'Leary. But I said, has a vague Irish accent, but is a tall Italian man. Like until he started talking and said O'Leary, and I'm like, he's supposed to be Irish?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. They're harder to spot.
And then we have Mama Morton, as I called her, because she reminded me of Mama Morton from Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Her name was
Flora.
Big Flora. Fraud and extortion.
Or however she says it.
I said dame in a purple dress.
Yeah.
Yes.
That actress is in a couple other episodes. I believe she was like the fortune teller in the Haunted House episode.
Okay.
But she was fabulous in this one.
Yeah,
like...
she's around. Our third guy, I call him DB Cooper. Because he looked like D.B. Cooper.
Okay. I don't have any notes on him.
Yeah. Do you know who D.B. Cooper is?
Yes.
Certainly. D.B. Cooper, famous unsolved mystery, uncaught criminal with a famous sketch artist of him. He was a guy that hijacked a plane.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Fell out of the plane, and he always wore his sunglasses in the head. And so so this guy
had like a
him.
suitcase full of money, and he jumped out of the plane, and they never found him.
Yeah. That's
But
so
but
cool.
he actually went on to be a gangster in the Monkeyverse.
Okay.
And the last
It's
guy is a ventriloquist dummy with a stutter. He's not literally a ventriloquist dummy, although I wouldn't put that past the show. He's just
He's Benny.
a small man
Yeah.
wearing
He's a
the
bookie.
clothes of a ventriloquist. A bookie?
He's a bookie.
What's that?
He takes bets. It's a bookie. It's gambling,
Okay.
illegal gambling.
Okay. So
Bookmaker.
okay.
Got
Do you
it.
know what a bookmaker is?
No, I don't gamble, Mom.
It's illegal gambling. He takes illegal gamble bet.
That seems like much less of a crime than these other people.
That's a stereotypical that's
Gangster
one. Yeah,
activity?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Got you.
Mhm.
My vocabulary is expanding today. Yes.
But he says Benny the bookie.
Okay. R.I.P. the members of the Purple Flower Gang.
Yes,
and it
yes,
cuts
they
to their
are.
empty chairs. So then the monkeys are like, oh, empty chairs, and we want to listen to the meeting. So they sit down in the empty chairs and they start eating all the breadsticks. The Danny DeVito one orders them out, you useless waiters, and he says, I'm gonna kill the little one.
Yeah, and I said, oh, poor David. And I say that for Molly.
Yeah,
Oh.
because she's not here to.
Because she's not here.
So then he pulls out a map of the city to start
Dividing it.
dividing it up among the gangsters. And the city does appear to be LA, so we are actually in LA.
Right.
The monkeys come out of the kitchen with very, very convincing Shadow Realm mustaches and pretend to be the missing members of the Purple Flower Gang because the Syndicate members have genuinely never seen each other before tonight, which I thought was a joke. Also, I thought that the Purple Flower Gang was dead.
Well, yeah, and then they
say that I swear
weren't
the
dead.
police in the first scene say we got them.
I think they're in jail.
Yeah,
is what it was.
yeah.
No,
I don't know why, but I thought they were killed.
They were in jail, and
Yeah.
that's what, because they were like, oh, how'd you get out, or something along that line.
Right.
Which kind of happened with Babyface.
Yeah. Something about the way the first scene where they mentioned it was presented made me believe that they were dead,
Okay.
and that the criminals were like that they were trying to be like, just kidding, we didn't die, but what they were just saying was, just kidding, we broke out of jail.
Right. I think that was the premise.
Okay. But they're wearing white carnations, and Mama Morton is like, why are you wearing white carnations? You're the Purple Flower Gang. And Micky says, do you know how tough it is to get purple flowers, baby? So there's a flower called a violet. Is this is this about the old-timey semantic differentiation between purple and violet? Because there are many, many purple flowers.
No, I just think it was I don't know.
They had to get something in there.
It was just a joke that made no sense.
Maybe they actually just couldn't find purple flowers in their stock room. They just
Peter keeps being like, I'm hungry, and the gangsters are like, monkey waiters, come out.
Yeah.
So the monkeys are like, we have to go to the kitchen to inspect it for poison.
So they all go.
Yeah. When they're in the kitchen, they send Peter out to go get the cops. But the Arnold Schwarzenegger gangster stops him with a gun. And then Peter's like, well, my gun says I go. And then he pulls a gun. And it's like one of those flag guns that has a flag in it. And the flag does say I go.
Well, Rocco says, this gun says you stay.
And this one says I go.
And he says, my gun says I go.
Yeah.
And it literally says I go. And so Rocco goes, okay, and lets him go.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. So then Red, the evil Irish gangster, starts ordering Mike around. And he has to keep running in and out of the kitchen and switching between waiter and gangster. Why does he just use his power of mitosis like Micky did in The Chaperone when he had to be in drag and playing at the party at the same time?
Be in two places.
Yeah.
Or just, be two versions of him.
Yeah. Mike, I know you have the power. You do it in Fairy Tale. Come on. And then the Irish guy says, when he's being the waiter, he's like, they're gonna have a vote about something for the gangster meeting, and he's like, we're gonna have a vote. Get that purple guy in here. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Wait, I don't get it.
Purple guy. Oh. Okay,
Sorry,
you're not
I'm
into the FNAF lore like me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, not that deeply.
Okay. If anyone is into the FNAF lore and can appreciate that joke, please clap.
Leave a comment down
Leave
below.
a comment if you want to hear my FNAF theories. Leave a comment if you want to hear my theories of which monkey would be which FNAF animatronic.
Damn, okay.
Davy,
it gets deep.
Davy is Chica.
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on.
DB Cooper is like, yeah, let's vote. That's democratic. They never said what they're voting for. And then Rocco, in front of everyone, goes, yeah, it all depends on who's counting the votes. They all heard you say that.
Peter, but it's going back and forth between Peter at the
the
police station, and they think he's a real gang member.
Yeah, so they arrest him.
So they're sweating him under a lamp, and this is where I said good cop, bad cop. They do a good cop, bad cop with him.
When they're interrogating him, I noted that he has visible sweat on his face and dark circles under his eyes, and I think they like added the sweat as makeup. But he might just be tired, genuinely.
So they get him all this food, and I think that's where the sandwiches Micky was making earlier come in. I think they fed him one of those sandwiches.
Yeah.
And he confesses to everything.
Yeah.
And then he says...
to every crime on earth.
And then he says, and one more thing. And I listened to it 3 times, and I don't know what he said. It's like something, my mother.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
He made a confession?
Well, I noticed
I want to pull that up.
I noticed that he confessed to the sinking of the Lusitania and the Great Train Robbery, which he certainly was not there for. Before that's even, like, they even cut to that back in the restaurant. This is what's happening. Mama Morton sends Davy to the kitchen to get her some alcohol, but she's like, come on, fellas, but she pronounces the word in a way that sounds like she was saying phallus.
Okay.
It's not just me, okay? They're planting subliminal messages in this show. To stall for time for Peter to get back, Davy and Mike start playing tic-tac-toe on the map with black paint. Yeah. Pretending that they're splitting up the city, but they are playing tic-tac-toe.
Right. And the setup of this fight is like
this
2 tables.
Yeah, the whole syndicate starts like fighting over the city division. They start ripping the map up. And then they all pull guns on each other.
Right, but they're all facing the fourth wall.
Yeah.
At the same time.
And it's just a very remarkable sight because there are 6 guns in this shot. And I'm like, imagine if they did this on Big Time Rush. Micky says, man, we gotta stop this shooting or we'll get killed. So in order to do that, he jumps into the line of fire waving his arms. Right. And then Micky like invites a hot girl into the shot. Mm-hmm. She walks on the stage. She opens her fur coat to show us her orange sports bra.
Literally.
And then she closes her fur coat. And Micky's like, the producers thought we should have a girl in the show.
Again, what was happening? Like,
I don't know.
All of a sudden, I'm like, what? Why? Yeah. Okay.
By the producers.
In the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
Right.
By the producers, do we just mean Micky himself? He's like, I'm gonna be bored this week, guys. And then the gangsters all shoot each other and die bloodlessly. There is a body count of 6. This is the only time in the first season that anyone is shown being killed.
Okay. But prior to that, they're underneath. They're hiding under the tables, and they keep playing tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
And Mike's mustache is hanging off.
Yeah, they didn't glue it on good. Mike also, like, the rest of them had kind of like, I guess, Italian-looking mustaches.
Mike had this droopy.
Yeah, it was like an old like Fu Manchu or
again,
like a Yosemite Sam vibes.
Right.
And it was half off, like for half the thing. It's just dragging there.
So then the cops come in and
after all the shooting and
arrest the monkeys in a room of 6 dead bodies. And there is no wrap up to the episode whatsoever.
then that's
no. Okay, so like they play Stepping Stone again with like some random clips. Like there's about a second of them in the montage of them in like prisoner costumes and behind bars. But other than that, it's completely random clips. And then it cuts to a shot of Pop, the old Italian man that we haven't seen in 20 minutes, going, "Play for me, boys. Play for me like you used to." And then it cuts to them singing in the Blues studio, clearly just a music video recorded on a completely separate day.
Yeah.
This is another instance of I think the script was unfinished.
Well, like completely unfinished because they went to jail and now they're playing and
they end this episode arrested for Sextuple Homicide. And there's no wrap up.
Right.
Except then Pop's got his restaurant back and they're
I guess he did.
Playing for them.
And play for me, boys. Play for me like you used to.
And then they're all standing on top of each other. I said like that.
Yeah.
they're playing, and they're showing clips of women in bathing suits in the 30s and 40s.
Well, let's
Oh,
talk about this
yeah.
because the song they're playing is "She," which they've
Right.
not played on the show yet.
Mhm.
It's a pretty good song. It's sung by Micky. It's a Voice and Heart song. R.I.P. Tommy Boyce, guys. But half of Voice and Heart died since the last time we
yeah.
recorded.
Yeah. No, actually, right before this.
Right before last time. R.I.P. Tommy Boyce. Thank you for the tunes, and it is sung by Micky. Yeah, so it's like between clips of them just in some music video studio in their suits, and like 1920s bathers and other various women
and people dancing.
Yeah.
But like old, like 20s,
Yeah.
30s people dancing.
I like when they do that. Do they do this again?
They
ever?
do. They have
Yeah.
a lot of music videos that use like vintage stock footage.
Well, I like when they do this because I feel like the show is already so influenced by that era of like, you know, the slapstick comedy
the, like,
and
Buster Keaton and vaudeville
and the like sped up film and stuff. I think it's just cool that they're like referencing it.
Yeah.
And maybe there's even like a level of irony in like, hey, this was like old comedy and we're still doing it, you know.
Right.
I feel like we do that today.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Exactly. In this music video, they have Peter playing the piano, which is funny because he could do that, but he certainly was not in this particular instance. And correction from last time, the guitar that Mike is playing is his fancy custom 12-string that only him and George Harrison had. So you can see it right there.
Yeah, I actually saw the name of it. I just have one other thing, which is that Benny the Bookie, guy's name was Mousy Garner.
Yes, it was.
Man's name was Mousy.
That's so cute.
He looks like a Three Stooge in his little IMDb picture.
See, Benny the Book.
Yeah. Oh, D.B. Cooper's name was Patty the Fix, apparently. Interesting to know.
They never said that, though.
My final thoughts for this episode are kind of that this one felt more unfinished than usual.
Very unfinished.
Yeah.
I just stop.
I don't know how, like, something like that happens. And, okay, so my mortal enemies, Gerald and Dee, were like the script supervisors on every episode of the show. They were kind of like the in-house people who are always there and checking it over. So I kind of get the sense that maybe they gave them like half ideas of episodes that someone else had come up with and were just like, finish this. But since they were racist hacks, they like didn't really it didn't all coalesce super good this time.
Right, but we got some good jokes out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some fun was had.
Yeah.
Some romps were romped.
It's almost like hard to not make a good Monkees episode.
Yeah, because the thing is, the quality of a Monkees episode does not rely on like the quality of like when you can tell that the Monkees are like not in character is the best part of the show.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
So therefore, the more mistakes that happen, the more fun I have.
Or when they're just like high out of their mind on the screen, and you're like,
exactly, yeah. All right, that's all I got this time. Did anyone have any notes that we skipped over?
No, I don't. I was gonna ask you guys.
Yeah.
I saw in one of your episodes you were saying that you were in contact with Micky's team.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Yeah. Any updates on that?
So we're working on. So when we were at the concert just now, and we talked about this in our mini episode, but with Micky is like on that particular day, he was like all booked up and like super tired after the show and stuff, and like we get that like he wasn't able to talk to us at that time. We've sent him like a little packet of some interview questions that I cooked up, which I think are pretty interesting.
Okay.
And we're gonna check back with his PR guy in a little bit and see if he can get those back to us, and then we'll be able to read Micky's answers for us on the podcast.
Oh, amazing! Yeah. And is this like a set list from the show?
Yes. That's what this is. Yeah. We just had an episode where we went over all this. Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Monkeys out.
Monkey out. Thank you for listening to our new episode.
We hope you enjoyed that episode of The Monkees Pod. You can follow us on Instagram and the website formerly known as Twitter @MonkeesPod. And I'm never going to call Twitter the current name that it allegedly has now because I do not respect the quote-unquote person who owns and operates it. Nor do I respect his ugly, ugly trucks. I saw a bright orange Cybertruck today, and it was the worst thing I've ever seen. And I've seen Monkees chow mein. Bye!